All right, guys, so we're at a friend's house here, and he has a Boxer. I thought I'd make a cool video for you guys to stop in and talk to him a little bit about it. So this is Boxer 981. It's a little bit different setup, and we'll talk to him a little bit. And this car is actually going to be for sale, so put a link in the description for that, an email address or something if you're interested. So let's get to it. Here it is, 2016 Boxer 981, and this is a 30,000 mile example. Black on black PDK car, and everything is in pretty much pristine shape in here. 19-inch wheels, the whole works. He's taking very, very good care of it. Personalized plate like we got, obviously not the same one. But yeah, so guys, this is Steve, and this is Steve's car, and we're just kind of stopped in here for a minute to take a look at it. And Steve actually got a hold of me and saying he had this car, so I thought, well, we'll take a look at it and look at some comparisons. I think, Steve, the very first thing we see that the car is a little bit taller. It's hard to see in the video. A little bit taller, a little bit wider, and just overall just a little bit bigger. And do you want to tell these guys a little bit about this car, how you acquired it, and all that stuff?
Yeah, I bought it from the St. Louis Porsche dealer, and I've had it since 16, I guess, and not since 16. I bought it in 18, and
So you bought it when it was 2 years old,
right? And basically, I've only put 10,000 miles on it in the years I've owned it, and I'm 70 years old, so I don't drive like a bat out of hell. So, you know, I'm just kind of a Sunday driver. The reason it's got the lower miles on it. Never drive it in the rain. It's always in a garage for the winter time, and it's garage when I'm not driving.
Let me ask you this. What car did you have before this? What did you come from to go to this?
An SUV. I had a Durango.
So this is the first sports car you've really...
I had a 914 back when I was a kid.
Okay. All right.
I had the go-kart back when I was a kid.
And you know the price of those are starting to go up again.
I wish I still had it.
Yeah, but the rust problem was real with
Yeah,
those.
well, you're right. I had to have the floor redone. It about came out on the highway one day. I had a whole floor to redone.
Yeah. And so what's you said you're looking at Mercedes next? You're gonna
Probably.
You just want to go around to a few other cars, kind of feel what's out there and see if there's something you may like better or worse. And
I do, but the main thing is I'm probably going to have a knee operated on to get a replacement. And getting in and out of the car is not the best thing.
We all know that.
The worst thing in the world, when you get out and you look like an old man getting out and everybody's looking at you, and it kind of takes a little of the spin away.
You got to make the noise, Steve. I tell my girlfriend all the time. Yet when you get out or get in, you got to make the old man noise.
Trust me, that's not a problem.
I'm the same way.
Not a problem.
Especially the taller you are, the worse it is. Yeah. This car's a little bit easier to get into. This is comfort seats, not sport seats. To be honest with you, my red Cayman I had comfort seats. I like those better because on these cars, the sport seats, you don't get heated seats.
Yeah.
You don't get none of that stuff. And it just holds you so tight. It's not really a feasible situation if you want to drive the car more than a couple times a year.
Right.
And we make do, but also you lose a lumbar with the sport seats. You lose a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You lose a lot of the adjustment and things like that.
Both the trunk and the hood, open them up. I don't think there's ever been anything in it.
The frunk?
Yeah.
It's always a good one to pull up somewhere at a store and you're loading groceries in the front and the back, and everybody's looking at you because they don't understand where the engine's at.
I've got a truck. I don't get groceries.
Well, I have that too, but you know how it is. But yeah, I actually would like to look at the trunk on this thing. Let me do that real quick. Yeah.
It's a license plate.
So the biggest difference is on the Boxers, as you guys know, they have this little trunk area. And on 987 Boxers, it's even smaller. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit different.
Well, I've never had anything but license plate in it. So, and the same thing goes for the front end. I've never had anything in it. And I don't believe anything's ever been in it because the carpet is smooth.
Yeah, we'll pull, if you don't mind, I'll pull that too. We'll look at that. And so, Steve, tell us about the battery. You did the battery. Mine just went out too. And I'll let you on a secret, but you tell me your battery story first. What?
My battery store, I went to, O'Reilly's.
Oh, boy.
And found the combination. I think I got the paperwork in there, $380 or something for the battery. But first of all, I took the measurements of the old battery, even though they're on it.
Yep.
I wanted to make sure it fit exactly, and it was the exact measurements.
Yep. And we just did this one. This one was just replaced probably less than 2 weeks ago. It just started getting where it would go dead after a few days, and it's not reliable anymore.
It's a 2016, and I'm sure that was the original battery. It said Porsche on it.
Yep.
But and mine wasn't going dead or anything. It just said I wanted to make sure I didn't get left somewhere, so I just said I'm going to do it.
Mine started off, we went to Europe and came back. It was about a week, and it was dead. I was like, man, that's weird. And then it kind of started escalating a little bit, like in the next few days.
Yeah.
You have to move it out of the shop, and it's low. It's like, why is it slow? Is something running it down? But I actually have a battery scanner you can hook to it and tell the state of the battery. So that's what we did. But the trick is, and I know you didn't know me before this, don't ever go to Buckeyes or AutoZone for...
I wouldn't have got a cheap battery.
Yep.
Shit.
So actually, what we've been doing and what I did, I went to our local farm store, which is Buckeyes. They have Continental brand batteries there with the exact battery, the exact number, with the exact number I needed for $100.
Yeah. Oh, you're kidding me.
Yep.
Well, anyway, it's got the same exact ratings and stuff as the one I took out, so it just had a different brand name.
Yep. Yep.
And happy about that.
And tell us,
fun to change, by the way.
tell us about your dealership experiences.
Well, the dealership, I really haven't had much. I took the car run once, and I had the oil change. It said 10,000 miles I've driven it, so just a few months ago, I had the oil change, and they did the 36,000 mile update or whatever they go through on that at the same time. And
Yep.
I mean, they gave me a loaner car. I can't complain. They took the car for a day and gave me a loaner. And
911 turbo for a loaner?
no, they gave me a Cayman, an SUV.
Really?
It was
A
still kind
Cayenne?
of fun
Yeah.
to drive.
Yeah. Well, that's good. But yeah, it shows you though, I mean, knowledge is king on these things. And if you take anything to dealership, it could get out of control very quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, they could charge you what your house costs just to fix something on
you're
it.
at their mercy, I think.
Yeah.
What do you do? I mean, if you're going to drive the car, you better take it to the dealership.
Yeah, and that's why we started the BMW channel and the Porsche channel, because showing the guys how to do stuff for a lot less money and not doing it cheaply at all, just where to buy the parts, exactly what to do. If there's small things you can do yourself, maintenance things, that makes it real easy to do.
Well, I actually did. I looked up on the internet changing the battery out because I didn't have an idea. Actually, I didn't even know where it was. And so I looked on the internet, I saw where the battery was located.
Yep,
and
up in the front.
Yeah, and then I started going through the process of taking a few things off.
But just think if you would have taken to the dealership and just said, here, change the battery.
Oh, the battery probably been over $500.
And however much to put it in.
Yeah.
If it was $380 at the regular store, it was like you said, $550 or $600 at the dealership or more.
Well, and the thing of it is, a battery is a battery. I mean, you're taking a couple cables off and taking a battery out, and that's not rocket science.
On the BMWs, I've been using Walmart batteries because they're $69. And somebody says, well, that's not going to last as long. Well, it probably will, but you could buy 4 of those for one of the other ones. Yeah. And we rarely ever have an issue with the battery going out once we replace it. If it's going to go out, the new battery's going to have a problem. It's going to be within a day or two when you get it. It's going to have an immediate problem or be dead on arrival. That's what we figured out.
Well, this has the maintenance program where you just call them if you do get sidelined somewhere and they come get you and stuff, and you don't have to do the repair. They'll take it in. But who wants to get left out and wait for that? Hard telling. This is Perryville. That's St. Louis. That's 80 miles away. How long is it? Depend upon which direction you're driving. Most of the time I'm driving north, but it may take a couple hours for them to come down to get to whoever the service people would be.
So you're the second owner of this car. The first owner was a company. Usually they're leased or bought through a company, always on the Porsche stuff. Right. And so adult driven his whole life, never been abused. It wasn't some high school kid just torturing this thing to no end, which we see that.
Oh, sure.
And mommy and daddy's bought him something, and the kid's out just ruthlessly just abusing it. And if you guys are interested in this car, Steve looked pretty in detail of the market. There's not a lot of 981s around. If you guys are in the 981 market, Steve's asking for around 42. That's a general price on it, so we'll put a link in the description of his email. If you guys are interested in this, get a hold of him. You can write stuff in the comments on YouTube, but you guys know how it is. The comment section is wild, so it's hard for me to keep track of this or that, and the best person to talk to is this guy and not me, because I'm not in front of the car to
of
go.
course, yeah.
I can't go take pictures of it in 5 minutes.
Right.
And Steve lives about 20 minutes away from me. So, but yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I mean, I'm really happy we got to do this video, got to show this car and all that stuff. And maybe whatever Steve buys next, we'll have on the channel and do some cruising stuff with him.
Yeah,
So
that'd be cool.
all right, thanks a lot, Steve.
Hey, thanks, Nathan, for your time.
All right, no problem.